We like to think of our homes as the one place where we are truly alone. But sometimes, the silence isn't actually empty. It's just waiting. These are 3 allegedly true horror stories that will make you double-check your locks tonight.
Last October, I moved into a studio apartment in a converted Victorian house. It was old, but the rent was cheap. About 2 weeks in, I noticed my phone battery would be significantly lower in the morning than when I went to sleep. I figured the battery was just dying. Then things got weirder. I'd wake up and find my phone on the floor, even though I clearly remembered putting it on the nightstand. One night, I decided to set an audio recording app to trigger whenever it heard sound. When I checked it the next morning, there was a 30-second clip recorded at 3:15 a.m. At first, it was just the sound of breathing. My breathing. But then I heard the distinct sound of floorboards creaking right next to my bed. A metallic click followed. The sound of a phone being unplugged. The most chilling part. I checked my photo gallery later that day. There was a single photo taken the night before. It was a blurry, top-down shot of my own face while I was fast asleep. Someone had been standing directly over me, using my own phone to document me sleeping. I moved out that afternoon. The police found that the closet in the hallway shared a crawl space with my unit. He had been living in the walls for weeks.
This happened to a guy named Elias while he was driving home through rural Ohio. It was 2 a.m. The stretch of highway I was on was completely dead. About 10 miles from the nearest town, I saw a figure standing on the grassy median. As I got closer, I saw it was a man in a full tuxedo. No coat, no car in sight. Just a man in a formal suit in the middle of nowhere. He was standing perfectly still, facing away from the road. I slowed down, thinking he might be a stranded wedding guest, but as my headlights hit him, he began to move. He didn't turn around. He started shuffling sideways, keeping his back to me, but moving with an incredible speed that didn't look human. I hit the gas, my heart hammering against my ribs. 3 miles down the road, my headlights hit something again. It was him. The same man in the tuxedo, standing on the median, facing the exact same way. There was no way he could have beaten my car there. As I flew past him at 80 miles per hour, I looked in the rear-view mirror. He wasn't standing anymore. He was on all fours in the middle of the road, sprinting after my car like an animal. I didn't stop until I hit a lit gas station. I never found out who or what that was, but I don't drive that route after sunset anymore. This last story was sent in by a traveler named Sarah. I booked a remote cabin in the Pacific Northwest for a digital detox weekend. The host, an older man named Arthur, seemed friendly enough via text. When I arrived, the cabin was beautiful but isolated, no cell service for miles. On my second night, I was reading by the fireplace when I felt that prickling sensation on the back of my neck. I looked at the window. It was pitch black outside, but I could see a faint reflection in the glass. Someone was standing on the porch, looking in through the gap in the curtains. I froze. I didn't want to let them know I'd seen them. I quietly grabbed my keys and went to the back door, planning to run for my car. But when I reached the door, I saw a small piece of paper tucked into the frame. It was a handwritten note. It said, "You look much better in person than you did in the social media photos I used to find this place. I'll be inside in 10 minutes. Please don't lock the door." I didn't wait 10 minutes. I bolted for my car and drove until I found a ranger station. When the police went back, the cabin was empty, but they found a professional camera setup hidden in the rafters of the bedroom. Arthur wasn't the owner of the cabin. The real owner had been dead for 2 years. Arthur was a squatter who had been hosting people just to watch them. If you'd like to see more videos like this, like, share, and subscribe.